This is Jeff.
This is Brandon.
We're the Film Blurs. This episode is brought to you by...
If you're a digital video editor, you need Edius. Edius is all about giving editors the creative freedom to create any application environment. It is designed to put the power in the hands of the editor with incredible flexibility. Edius, editing refined. Edius allows multiple users to edit, work with content as it imports, and getting content to the user incredibly fast. Check out the latest version of Edius that just launched. Download a 30-day trial today at edius.net. Get your films on with the Blurs.
Once an idea has taken hold of the brain, it's almost impossible to eradicate.
Unpacking movies has never been more spot on, woke, fire, and just plain lit.
They are lit all the time.
So if you're unsure whether or not to plop down some cash for a film, check out the Blurs.
When a man with a 45 meets a man with a rifle, the man with a pistol is a dead man.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
You really only need to hang mean bastards. But mean bastards, you need to hang.
Don't say you weren't warned. Here's Brandon and Jeff.
Hey, yo, and welcome back to another episode of the Film Blurs. I'm Jeff Stewart, a.k.a. Revengeman Button, a.k.a. Uncle Jeffrey, a.k.a. Joe's public defender, but I'm on the fence because I got a job at a real law firm. And I'm joined here by my man.
I'm Brandon Norwood, a.k.a. hero protagonist, a.k.a. the true father of Joe's kids. Joe's getting out of prison soon, a.k.a. Papi Chulo. I take Molly and stick it in your wife's butt, and I sleep with your grandma. How do you feel about that?
I feel horrible about that. In the butt?
A.k.a. it's Scruff McGruff's nephew, Ruff McGruff. If you see a crime, specifically a robbery or a drug deal, report it to me, and I'd pull a rip and run and let the other people do the hard work. Call me kids. AKA B-Wood the Magnificent.
We're gonna go back to that. What Ruff McGruff?
Yeah, man. I met Ruff McGruff the other day, and like he hates snitches, and I love Ruff because he hates snitches. So he's like, you know what? I let the criminals do the hard work, and then I rip them off.
So he's like the Omar of the fucking McGruff family.
Yeah,
of the crime.
So if he sees anybody pulling a bank robbery or like dealing drugs, like, oh man, he's gonna, as soon as he sees the money, man, it's done for you.
Get down to lay down, baby.
You know,
get down to lay down. Ruff McGruff.
You see the robbers coming out the bank with the bags of bundles, and there he is blowing your kneecaps off and taking the money. Shout out to Ruff McGruff. I don't like Scruff either. Stop snitching. All right. There we go.
We got so many characters. We got so many people. We got so many names. I love it.
All right. So let's do some real quick cleanup. Last episode we both talked about Menace to Society coming to the Criterion collection.
Right. And I finally saw the full cover.
I told you.
All right. Now I see it. Like you got to see the pullout.
Yeah. Well, now that WB's licensing their shit to be in the Criterion collection, can we finally get two movies? The Fountain, because Darren Aronofsky always wanted The Fountain because he has mad shit.
Right. That's left off on the table. Yeah.
And can we get the 4-hour cut? Because it exists. Roger Deakins has seen it. Andrew Dominic has talked about it. The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. They say it's completely different. It actually enhances the movie, which is already a rich movie as is.
Okay, so let's talk about Andrew Dominic for a minute.
Oh, yeah, because he has... Yeah, I'll go ahead.
That dude does not get enough flowers.
Yeah.
Like he does not like. All right, so you got the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford, and you got to say the whole entire thing. Right. You got Killing Them Softly.
Yeah.
All right. What was this first one? What was the one?
I couldn't even finish that. Chopper, because as soon as I saw this nigga cutting off his ears in prison, I'm like, bro, I was like, what the fuck? I turned that shit off because I was like, dude, it was like a close up of Eric Bana just cutting it, and that's based on a fucking true story. Right. I'm just like, yo, if this is only like the first 15 minutes, I was just like, that was That was gnarly, dog. That was so gnarly.
Yeah, but like the assassination of Jesse James and
Killing Them
Softly
Yeah.
are beautiful fucking films.
Yeah.
You know, and what's the original cut of the assassination? That's like three. That's
4.
What's the original cut? That's the original cut.
2.5.
2.5, right? And for a 2.5 hour movie, that's pretty much a meditation on mortality and everything like that. It flies by. So I'm looking forward to the 4-hour edition because I mean it's fucking Deakins put his foot in it.
I mean, it's mythic at this point. Like WB, you like put that out. Let Criterion put that out. Let Criterion put out Rock and Rolla. Let Criterion put out Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Oh please, thank you. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Still one of my favorite RDJ movies, and I think the last time I actually saw Val Kilmer before he kind of
got the throat cancer,
and he was killing it.
Yeah.
Gay Perry, baby.
Man, I'm sad that and the Nice Guys didn't get a TV show or sequels, one of the two or something.
Well, because people don't understand Shane Black. Like he was he in the 80s he was masterful, and I think that crowd, the 80s audience, really got and connected with his stuff. And like these new kids, they don't know about Rob. They don't know about him.
True. All right. Well, Jeff, I don't know if you got to play it, but I got to play it briefly.
Oh, we're talking about War for Wakanda?
Yeah, because we talked about it last episode in our free guy review. We kind of hybrid it. Did you get to play it?
Yeah, I played like 3 hours of it.
Okay, so I only played like an hour.
Yeah, I mean, it's
like everything with this game. It was just rushed, and this game really should have needed like another 5-6 months, honestly.
Right. I mean, I enjoyed it for playing as Black Panther and everything like that, but it's the same problems I had with the game before.
Yeah.
It's just a fucking beat 'em up. Like you just power up, you beat up people. The storyline is kind of there, but not really. And this was already behind the 8 ball because you're always going to compare the voice actor from this with what Chadwick did.
Right.
And so like playing that game just made me want to go back and watch Black Panther again. It didn't enhance the game for me. It just made me nostalgic for that performance.
All right. Well, see, and you know what? Like I said last episode, I'll never stop talking about Black Panther because fucking Hancock's weaknesses with white women and alcohol. It's like 80% of niggas on Earth.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
and like I said,
95.
He got 95. And then I told you he gets his powers from herb and purple drank. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll never stop talking about that fucking movie.
Yeah, no, man. It's like I've always said, it's an important fucking film. Like, out of the 2 Marvel movies that were like centered around African American characters, where you have Spider-Verse and you have Black Panther that came out, relatively close together. I think, in my opinion, Spider-Verse was a better film, but Black Panther was a more important film.
All right, let me see. I see what you mean. I like Black Panther better.
Right. Now, I like Black Panther.
And I'm not shitting on Spider-Verse, right? But I'm saying, me personally, I like Black Panther.
Right, but Black Panther meant more for the culture.
Right.
Yeah.
So, let's get into some Dune news. This fucking film's like fucking Thanos, just collecting film festivals and praise left and right. So, over the week, it was announced that it is going to be playing the New York Film Festival.
All right, we're getting into that, right?
We need to talk off air after the show.
All right.
I don't know how, so it's playing all the award circuits. Jesus Christ. Christopher Nolan called Denis and his wife called Denis. They both had a extended talk with Denis because apparently it really crushed Denis when they said, you're doing streaming and theaters. And I get it because after seeing that presentation, I'd be like, damn, like, yeah, they supported him, and they're just like, hey, we support you 100%. You know, Warner Brothers kind of fucked y'all. Like, we get it.
Right. And with Denis, I get it.
Right.
All right. Like with Nolan, it was Nolan trying to show his dick to the world.
At the wrong time.
At the wrong time.
Because I remember this time last year when Dune was pushed, they wanted to push that out. Denis like, I don't know how I'm going to get this done in time. But now that he had a whole nother year, like I understand why, because that movie's meant to be seen in a theater on the largest screen possible.
Right. Dune actually seems like an epic. Tenet, you could watch that on an iPad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there are some movies that need to be seen in the theaters, and I get Denis being upset about that. But, you know, it is what it is at this point. Like, you know, we're in the middle of Apocalypse Part 3.
So moving on to our second to last business of Dune. Denis has come out and said that there is no director's cut of Dune. What you get is his vision. He doesn't have final cut. Yeah, I don't think he's had final cut on a movie since Arrival.
Right.
Like, I think Arrival might be maybe Sicario. I think he said Arrival and Sicario were like the only movies he had final cut. Otherwise,
I mean, the fact that he had final cut on those two movies is kind of fucking impressive.
Well, I mean, I understand, because like those are just adult movies. You know what I mean? Like that. The fact that they tried to make a franchise out of Sicario and still trying to make a Sicario 3 is kind of laughable.
Wait, are they trying to make a Sicario 3?
Yeah.
Oh, let's just leave it alone, baby.
Yeah,
just leave it alone.
You know, 2 directly sets up the third, and that shit.
They could have just left it there, and I don't need the further adventures of, you know, I don't need a Little Wolf and Cub, you know, remake of fucking Mexican assassins.
Right. And then we have our last bit of Dune news. Denis thinking about part 2. He wants to start shooting part 2 very soon. And he said once part 2 is done, he's going to, you know, take a quick break. While he's on his break, he wants to make a little smaller film, but then he wants to come back and do the next book, which she loves, called Dune Messiah. And he's like, we'll see what happens after that. And I'm just like, okay, so you want to, he considers Dune Part 1, Part 2, and Dune Messiah a trilogy. But from what I've understood and what I've been told, Dune Messiah is just a setup for the next book, which is Children of Dune. And Children of Dune, from what I understand, the best book is the first one. Right, and then the next best one is Children of Dune.
Okay.
And I from what I understand, everything after that is just like, you could take it or leave it. So what if Denis, if this all plays out and God forbid we go down the line and this all hits the way it's supposed to be hitting, Denis, come back for Children of Dune, do Children of Dune, and then WB just make the other books into a TV show. Just do a Dune TV show and just adapt the books. You
know what? I have forgotten that they had a Dune miniseries on Sci-Fi a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and I heard it was.
Yeah, I mean, he's got that WB money. So if anyone's going to make it a series that's worth watching, it's going to be HBO and WB.
And you know what, man? Good. I'll say this. Denis has come out and said there's only one green screen shot in the whole fucking movie. Otherwise, it's all matte paintings and miniatures.
Like old school, you know, like fucking Star Wars.
And it makes it tangible. Like that's why it feels epic, because it's all practical, not CG.
Right. And that's why I'm so excited about it. You know, it seems old school Hollywood magic.
So, with that said, Jeff, you posed a question last week, and we got a we'd like to thank this person.
Shout out to Maria E. All right. Who wrote into us after our podcast and, you know, schooled the both of us on some Dune shit. And I'm going to read her email right now. You'll have to pardon me because it's so long. I might have to take a nap in between. First of all, I love all capitals. I love the Film Blurs podcast. Now I will attempt to answer a question in this week's episode that Jeff had about the book Dune. Jeff has to understand that as the reader, you are inside the heads of every character at all times. You hear Paul's thoughts as his father, the Duke Leto Atreides, conducts a war council. Simultaneously, you hear the Duke's thinking behind each word he says and each action he chooses. There are multiple levels to every scene. First, the actions and words of each character. Second, the thoughts behind each character's decision. And third, the thoughts of other characters as they react to the first character's words. Then repeat the process for each subsequent action, statement, or decision. How could anyone possibly communicate all of these layers in any medium except the written word? No wonder Dune has defied all previous attempts to adapt it to the big screen. So why is now the time to read Dune? 3 reasons. 1, any time is a good time to read Dune. 2, quarantine means you have time to really dig into something difficult. 3, Denis Villeneuve's film adaptation will arrive, coronavirus, accepting in December 2020. Well, actually, November.
It's October
2021.
Yeah.
But it's all right. And what an adaptation it looks to be. Being that Dune is a movie now, I just hope they use the book for the source material. I mean, this is it. The potential is here for a Lord of the Rings level epic. And there's also the potential for a total and complete disaster of a flop. Reality will likely fall somewhere in the middle. I hope I answered this question well.
Well, thank you, Maria. That was the first thing I said after I saw the presentation was like, it's Lord of the Rings in space, right? It's like a mix of Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, and Star Wars. Because all that shit that I saw in that first 10 minutes, I was like, yo, George Lucas has bitten and stolen from like so much. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he's the master of the remix, man.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm excited for this fucking movie.
Yeah,
it's
man. Like the more and more, like every day, I get more and more excited for this, and I'm excited to experience it in a theater. You know, like. I mean, I'm gonna go, see it first in the theater. Then I will watch the HBO streaming, but first and foremost, I've got to I want the Dolby Atmos sound. I want the biggest screen. I want to fucking feel the shit in my bones.
Yeah, man. I'll say this, the IMAX we like going to, that shit got louder. So
that's cool. I got oldest ears anyway. So yeah, man. October 22nd, like, it's bad news for Venom, man. Venom opens the same day now as The Last Duel and fucking Halloween Kills. Look, it's going to change. It's going to change between now and then. They're going to push that shit back. Mark my words, because it is going to get fucking murdered.
Yeah, because you got No Time to Die the week before, and then the next week, it's literally you got Halloween Kills and The Last Duel. Both of those movies look amazing. And you're going to tell me, like, yo, where my priorities lie? And I think our listeners, they're savvy enough. I guarantee you they want to see those other 2 movies too.
Right,
come on, man.
Like Venom is a direct to streaming. That is a drop the same day on VOD or whatever like that.
Yeah,
I'm not lining up for that shit.
Yeah, man. All right, speaking of release dates, Addams Family 2. We talked about this, didn't we?
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, let's move on then. Addams Family 2. It's coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, I think we're seeing it soon.
All right. Cool. I mean, look, it's the Addams Family 2.
Listen,
what do you want me to say?
I'm gonna say this. There's a kids movie I saw on streaming over the weekend because it got a simultaneous release in theaters and streaming. When I went to the theaters this weekend, it was fucking selling out almost every showtime. And then, Saturday night, I was in my zone and I watched it on streaming because it was for free for people who subscribe to the service. I'll talk about it later though, but I'm pleasantly to be thorough for this show and to give everything a fair chance. I'm surprised. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like now after watching that, I'm like, you know what? I got to just be a little more open-minded to certain things.
Right. And like, here's the thing with cartoons and children's programming and stuff like that. It can be really good, Yeah. And, the cynic in me is always like, oh, it's just a cash grab, blah, 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 blah. But, it can surprise you, So, like, I'm trying to have more of an open mind. It's hard, though, because I'm old as fuck.
All right. Well, Fast and Furious 10 has gotten a release date, April 7th, 2023.
Happy 42nd birthday to me. It's the family reunion. My birthday is April 11th. And anyone wants to send me any checks in the mail, just so you know. But yeah, So Vin and the family are bringing that to me for my birthday.
Universal, if you can do me a favor, sit down Vin Diesel, pay him money, shove money literally in his mouth so we could get The Rock back in these last 2 movies. Just shove that shit and tell him to shut the fuck up.
The visual in my head of like Vin Diesel on like a platter with like dollar bills coming out of his mouth, like a roasted pig, is bringing me so much joy right now, and that says a lot about me as a person that I have to really dive into with my therapist. I don't know why that came up.
Man, I if I was the head of Universal, I'd be pulling a Wu-Tang right now. I'd be like, if you don't sit down and shut the fuck up, I will sew your asshole shut and keep feeding you and feeding you and feeding you. Shut the fuck up, Vin. Let The Rock be a star. God damn it.
Let the Rock shine like only The Rock can.
Fucking up this whole Fast universe for us.
The Fastiverse.
Yeah. So, cinematographers are now trying to address long work days on sets, and I think that needs to be for not just for cinematographers, but for every department. You know what I mean?
Like, I'm 100% behind them on this, because like as a working quote unquote filmmaker, or is the working in quotes or filmmaker in quotes? I got to get back to that. But like I've done 16, 17 hour days,
yeah, man,
and you're fucking wiped, dog.
Yeah. When I was directing some projects that was renamed Nameless, I went up to all the grips and all the stage hands and shook all their hands, said thank you for being there, because I know once I got on the set, that was their 5th hour there.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And when I left set, I knew they had probably another 2-3 hours
to break down or whatever like that. Yeah. So like, and it's some real indie shit to do 18 hours, 19 hours, because it's like a badge of honor right there. He was like, yeah, I once did fucking 20 hours on this.
But even on blockbusters, when you got money too, it's
right. But like at a certain point, it's just like, look, I get that you're in the zone and we have to finish this, and you have metrics and you have whatever like that. But, you got to carve out time for people to live their lives. Yeah. Right? Because people burn out real quick on that shit.
Well, that is why people were always surprised I got my productions done fast, was because I had everything storyboarded and I was prepped. The one thing I would say is people were surprised by how prepped I was. I was like, yo, listen, when I visualize something, I know what I want. I tell it, sit down, have meetings, tell people what I want, tell my DP, like, yo, these are the shots. You got any suggestions? He'll suggest something. Maybe I was like, okay, let's try that. Maybe let's try this since you suggested that. And we rap back and forth. And by the time it's time to shoot, bro, by the time we get to take 3 or take 4, it's gravy.
Right. And that's what the importance of it, like a really good first AD, because they keep that shit running like clockwork, baby. Because like when I've had to jump in and do AD duties, like I'm trying to, like if we have a schedule of 12 days, I'm trying to get out in 10.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get drunk later.
Yeah, man. Come under budget. Yo, listen. All right, hire us, yo. We know what the fuck we're doing. We ain't gonna burn through your money.
I mean, we will, but you'll see it on the screen.
Yeah. All right. R.I.P. to Sonny Chiba. He died because of COVID.
I didn't even when I got that email from you, it was like, what? Sonny Chiba's dead? And like, how did that not show up in my fucking feed?
Oh man, it was all over that day. That shit broke my heart. I was like, guys, this is not a joke. Please get vaccinated. Please wear a mask. The FDA just approved the Pfizer vaccine. I got the Pfizer. Got both shots of Pfizer.
Yep, Pfizer gang right here.
Yeah, so please, guys, this is not a joke. Honestly, if they say like, yo, like as soon as that booster comes out, like I'm gonna be stepping on, like I'm gonna be running through a field of puppies with cleats on to get that third shot.
Not with the cleats.
Yeah, with the cleats, baby.
Oh no.
You know, if in February they're like, yo, you gotta get one more, I was like, all right, let me put the cleats on again. I'm getting this shot. I don't give a fuck. I will pour that shit down my throat. I'm not trying to get COVID.
I'm not trying to get it either.
So, yeah.
Because, I've got too much to live for now, I guess.
All right. Well, with all that said, Jeff, what have you watched lately?
What you watching? What you watching? I said, what you watching? What you watching?
What are you watching?
I am watching a lot of the devil shit.
I'm
All right. No, all right. So last week I started watching and I finished Brand New Cherry Flavor, which is new to Netflix. The story pretty much goes, it takes place in the early 90s. This female filmmaker goes into Hollywood with this really, really hot shit short film, right? She links up with this, what if version of Harvey Weinstein. He mentors her, but, as mentors do, he tried to fuck her. And she rejects his advances. He steals her movie, right? And then after that, she goes and finds a witch who puts a curse on the dude. And that's the elevator pitch of Brand New Cherry Flavor. Now, I have mixed feelings about this show, this limited series, whatever like that. It's acted really well. You got Kathleen Keener in it. Kathleen Keener, yeah. You've got Eric Lang. All the ancillary characters are pretty on fire. Like, the acting isn't bad, and it stars Rosa Salazar as the main filmmaker. It's really gross. It's violent as fuck. It's bloody as fuck. The thing is, I don't like any of the characters in the show. Right? Mm-hmm. Like, so you're supposed to feel sorry for Rosa Salazar's character, right? She went to Hollywood, and she got victimized, and her film got stolen, and yada 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 yada. But the more and more you watch the film or watch the show, the less likable she becomes. And I think that's the main conceit of the entire show, is that everybody in Hollywood's an asshole.
Okay.
It's weird that, all right, so she signs the contract with the producer without going to a lawyer, right? Which you never do. But then as soon as the movie gets stolen, she goes to the fucking witch, right? And pays, she says, what's it going to cost me to put a curse on this dude? And the witch doesn't tell her anything. It's just oh, I'll tell you when you're done paying. Right? So you made the same mistake with the witch that you made with the producer. You didn't see the fine print. And the thing is, when you're fucking with the devil, there's always fine print.
All right. Yeah.
So it takes you on this roller coaster, and everybody in this dude's life is, either murdered or destroyed or whatever like that. It's real scorched earth type shit. The main character has a backstory about, growing up in Brazil, yada, 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 yada. I'm in it, right? I'm loving it all the way up until the last episode. And it's one of those things where the last 10 minutes or the last episode or whatever like that tainted everything that I'd watched before, because it is a limited series. It's not going to get a sequel. It's not going to get a second season. I mean, it may.
Yeah, because that shit changes on a dime.
Right, it may, but likelihood is it's not. So the main character has just pretty much destroyed all these lives to get to her goal, right? And then, I'm not going to spoil it for you. It's sort of just stops.
Okay.
So all the work that she's done, all the horrible things that she's done, all of the, the bodies in the wake of her, of her vengeance, it all becomes for naught because of decisions that she makes in the last episode. And so that just really left a bitter taste in my mouth. I'd rather see an asshole win than an asshole give up,
I gotta see for myself.
Yeah, I mean, watch it. It's really slick. The gore is on point. The acting's on point. It's just that last fucking 15 minutes just kind of ruined everything for me.
All right.
So there you go. brand new cherry flavor on Netflix. Watch it, I guess. And then after that, I decided, okay, why not hop on Hulu? And then I guess Hulu and all like my Apple TV and everything like that, they're in collusion. So as soon as I turn on Hulu, it's like, oh, hey, you may like this. It's a show called The Devil You Know. And it's about cults. All right. So it's a Vice investigative series about different cults and stuff like that around the world. And the first, I guess, segment, the first 4 episodes were about this dude in Winston-Salem, Virginia, who killed 2 people, buried them in his backyard, told everyone that he buried them in his backyard, like had all little acolytes and shit like that, all around. They're pissing on themselves and shitting on themselves, not taking baths for years at a time and shit like that. Right. Yeah. Real gross shit. Right. And they don't even investigate the murders for like 5 years.
Why?
What? Because fucking Keystone Cops doing Keystone Cop shit, man. Like, I don't know, the Winston-Salem police force.
I've noticed these small towns just don't give a fuck. They just want to chill.
Yeah, right.
Like, like somebody could be like, yo, somebody's getting killed by an axe. They'll be like, yeah, sure, man, we'll be right there.
They're on some real, fucking Barney Fife shit.
Yeah.
Like, I loved when they finally did get to the house, right? The CSI dude looked shook as fuck. Like, I always love it when the CSI guy is like, oh, I've never seen nothing like this in my whole entire life. Right. And I want to, I wrote down some snippets of what the cops said as they're like showing the video going through the house. This guy got a bad case of whatever he's got. That was an actual line that a cop said as he's walking through this motherfucker's house.
What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know, but that's the most fucking down home country ass shit I've ever heard.
What the fuck does that?
This guy got a bad case of whatever he's got. My second favorite one is, if filth had a smell, it'd be the house. It's like, well, yeah, filth doesn't have a smell. It's filthy. Fuck, it's like, so.
Yo, these backwater people.
This backwater fucking.
Jesus Christ.
Like, you've seen the video, you're walking through the house and everything like that. The cleanest place in the whole entire fucking house is the laundry room.
That makes sense.
But I'm just saying, like, there's literal altars with, fucking dead animals everywhere, all throughout the house, like feces smeared everywhere. But the fucking Maytag is immaculate. That blew my fucking mind.
See, if I was a cop in that town, I'd be like, all right, so look, we're going to burn this down. But first, I'm going to get me a new washer and dryer. bring the hand cart in.
Yeah. And like, it's a really, really interesting documentary because like the cops kept on getting anonymous fucking phone calls and like Crime Stopper shit. Like the dude, like the Pazuzu, right? The guy, that's what he named himself. His name was John Lawson.
But
right?
he named himself after the demon in The Exorcist.
Right. He named himself Pazuzu.
How original.
Right. But he's got tattoos all over his face and shit like that. He looks like if Post Malone went left instead of right, And it's like, in this Bible Belt town, and they didn't have like fucking SWAT teams and shit like that, or like stakeouts on this dude for this 5 years.
Damn, I'm in the wrong business. Like I need to move to a small ass town, become a cop.
I thought you were about to say start a cult, because I'm about that.
No,
I've always wanted to start a cult.
I'll become a cop and just take down crazy white people, because the case would be closed.
it's that white motherfucker over there. He did it.
Oh yeah, you know me. I'll go in like Bad Boys too. I'd be like, yeah, they all had guns.
I'll sprinkle some crack on him. Look, he's covered in meth.
Yeah, angel dust and meth.
Let's just sprinkle some meth on him. Oh, he's high on PCP. He came after me. I don't know what to do.
Listen, I like to be like, yo, listen, I'm the only black man here. I like to keep this town clean. Okay, I'm trying to protect myself too.
Right. So like, you're gonna join the force. All right, I get it. Like,
No, because I don't like cops, and I'm not becoming a cop.
All right. Well, I'm just saying, you'd make a good dirty cop.
I'm a good dirty cop because I'm still cleaning up bad people. I'm not doing other corrupt shit.
So you'd be a what the French call a vigilante.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because I'm not fucking working with no cartels or none of that shit, or like working with town pimps and none of that shit. Nah, I don't do that shit. I take down bad guys.
I'm imagining you with the fucking, like, as a dirty cop in the rural South, and I'm about to write that movie and pitch it. That seems amazing to me. But yeah. Anyway, The Devil You Know, watch it just to see crazy folk doing crazy folk shit. I'm a big fan of cult leaders. But you got to be smart about being a cult leader.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just be crazy. You got to be smart too.
I mean, most of these cult leaders are crazy.
Yeah, but you can be crazy and smart.
None of these niggas were smart. Like,
right, I know. Like
Manson wasn't smart. Who's the Jonestown dude?
Oh God, I can't remember what his name.
Yeah, he was stupid too. All these cult leaders, I'm just like, yo, it's just they getting a bunch of lost people.
Yeah,
and just taking advantage of lost people. Honestly,
it's like a gang, but
you take advantage of lost people. That's basically what it is.
It's like a gang but like more fucking and more animal sacrifice.
Yeah.
So yeah, The Devil You Know on Hulu. It's interesting to see, crazy white people doing crazy white people shit.
Damn, man, I really can't be a cop in these backwater towns, because every white person I pull over be like, yeah, you were doing 80. You'd be like, oh, I was only doing 30. I was like, no, you doing 80. I see a black dude drive by doing 100, be like, all right, brother, have a good day.
I love how you're vying for the NAACP Image Award right now.
I'm gonna be on. Listen, I'll come moonwalk across that stage, pick up my award, have Busta Rhymes with me. I'll be like, I got so many people to thank. I brought Busta Rhymes. He gonna thank them all for you. I'm gonna sit there.
I've made it. I got Busta Rhymes fucking introing me.
And I'm gonna be standing I'm gonna be standing as soon as he gets on stage, takes the mics to start thanking everybody for me. I'm gonna stand to the side, light up a blunt, and start dancing right on stage.
The visuals today, the mental pictures you were painting, you're like fucking goddamn Picasso today with these mental images that you're putting in my head. All right, so moving on to the other things that I've seen.
I had time today, nigga.
Fucking watch Ted Lasso. Everybody. It's such a good show. And, I've seen some complaints on my Facebook feed that Roy Kent, one of the main characters from last year, wasn't as prevalent in this season as last season. And I'm trying to tell them it's storytelling. It's building. He's going to join back up with the main storyline. You just have to give it time. He has to follow his own path and everything like that. It's happened. Episode 4 or 5, I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's happened. It is the most just heartwarmingly raunchy show on TV. I don't even know how to describe it. It's wholesome, but with like a razor sharp edge. And I don't even like soccer. I don't like sports. And I love this fucking show. Yeah, I like shit about sports. I just don't like sports. Like that Netflix show Untold. I'm loving that shit.
You watched The Last Dance?
Well, I have not watched The Last Dance just because I hear that's an emotional investment.
The Last Dance is a masterpiece. I grew up with that shit. Jordan was like, he's God.
I did love the SNL skit that they did with the dude from Key and Peele.
Man,
I always fuck up his name. Michael Keegan Key. Right. I always want to call him Michael Keegan.
No, Michael Keegan Key.
Right. Yeah. I always fuck that up.
It's the 2 Ks. That's what gets you.
That's the 2Ks, yeah.
The KE.
Those Ks will fuck you up.
The KE, because it's Keegan Key. Yeah, the 2 KEs, man.
Yeah. But I love that SNL skit where they're clowning Michael Jordan, like doing bets with the security guard.
Oh yeah. Michael Jordan. One thing I love, because we all knew this, Michael Jordan's a dickhead. But I mean, if you're that good, you're gonna be a dickhead.
Well, this is the same conversation we've had about fucking Bruce Lee's Tarantino's portrayal of Bruce Lee in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're the best at something, you know, you're kind of gonna have a little swagger. You're gonna be a little bit of a dickhead.
Yeah.
You're gonna be cocky. I mean, just how it goes. You can still be like the nicest person in the world, whatever like that. You can give to charities, whatever like that. You know, fucking rescue puppies. But if you tell me I'm the best at something, I'm kind of gonna let my dick swing a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, so
I mean, everything's ego.
Everything is ego. Well, that's how I get up in the morning. Ego and spite.
Nigga, I get up in the morning just so I could work out.
Well, yeah.
That's what I do.
That's for the ego.
I guess at this point, it's just habit now.
That's right. That's right. I haven't seen a workout since 1995, so I don't know what that life's about.
Well, I feel good for the rest of the day. That's all I know.
Well, hey, I'll feel good for the rest of the day too. I'm about to get drunk.
All right, man.
Yeah, so that's pretty much everything that I've watched this week. I kept it kind of low key on the watching front because I've been busy ruling the world.
Yeah, all right.
So what do you got for me?
I watched a documentary called Ailey. It's about Alvin Ailey. He was a black choreographer, dancer. He was noted, like big influential choreographer. It's your basic documentary. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, does it dive into any of the darker parts of his life?
Not really, but like at the end, I did feel bad because it got to, he was gay and
like a gay dancer.
Some of them, and he has a lot of black male dancers. Some of them are, some of them aren't.
Right.
It got to the end and I felt bad. This dude was so in the closet because, back then, he was dying from AIDS, and even he had to hide that and keep that shit in the closet. Like when his mom saw him and saw that he was dying from AIDS, she just thought he was sick. He couldn't even tell his mom, like, yo, I'm dying from AIDS. That's how fucking sad that shit was.
Yeah, well, that's rough.
Yeah. So, yeah, Alien, it's your basic doc. I mean, I knew the name because there's shit in New York just named after him. Right. I just didn't know the person.
There's a dance conservatory, like there's like 15 conservatories named after him. Like he was the top of his game.
Yeah, and I see why, because like he pushed black culture forward through dance. So like shout out to him, man. Like I would like to see a better documentary though.
And that's the thing. Like we've had this conversation about music documentaries, man, or performance documentaries.
Yeah.
Or biopics. It's just like,
So, I went and I saw The Protege. It's not bad. It's definitely a streaming movie.
Okay.
I ain't pay to see it. You know what I mean? But yeah, you definitely wait for streaming. I don't know what happened to Martin Campbell, but like it is what it is.
All right, so like compare it to something else, because I got shades of fucking John Wick in it. I got like from the trailer, I got shades of John Wick.
It's not John Wick just because it feels like that early 2000s action dad movie. You know what I mean? Like this is a dad movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It's fine, right?
Yeah, it's not the worst thing I've seen. It's not the best thing I've seen. I'm not even mad. You know what I mean? It's just like, okay, you know what I mean?
Look, I mean, I love a good female assassin movie, but you're never going to beat The Long Kiss Goodnight in my eyes when it comes to female assassin movies. Oh, that or
Nikita?
Yeah, the film Nikita, and then to a lesser extent, Point of No Return.
Yeah. So, I mean... it is what it is. I when it comes to streaming, watch it. You're gonna have a good time. It's a Sunday afternoon movie, and then you're gonna forget it. So when it comes to streaming in 2 weeks, a movie that got simultaneous theaters and streaming release that I talked about, I teased in our previous segment. I can't believe so many people paid and were buying all the candy and all the popcorn. I'm like, you guys are dropping mad money for this movie. Paw Patrol the movie, and I have no idea what Paw Patrol is. The kids I work with, they love it. This is my first introduction to Paw Patrol. I watched it Saturday night in my room because it's streaming on Paramount Plus.
Right.
It's not bad. I was like, yo, for something that's strictly aimed for children,
right?
Like the adults that have to watch it are going to watch it. You're not gonna suffer. You're just gonna sit there and you'll be like, okay, all right.
You're just gonna Like I knew that there was a patrol of paws, but I did not know. I've never seen a Paw Patrol. I've seen the toys all around.
It's like a little over an hour. It's like an hour 16, hour 20.
I mean, that's perfect kid length.
Yeah. You know, it gets in, it gets out. One of the dogs has PTSD he's trying to get over. Shit is crazy.
I don't mean to laugh at that.
No. I get why you're laughing, because they're like, this is what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, this isn't a fucking kids movie. I was like, that's crazy. Like he has PTSD of living in the city. He has PTSD of heights because he had a bad thing with heights. And I'm like, damn, doing this shit in a Paw Patrol movie. But I don't advocate Paw Patrol because the Paw Patrol are cops. And
oh wait, I thought it was all sorts of patrols. I thought we had fire patrols, park rangers.
Yeah, basically they do everything. Like they're basically superheroes. They're firefighters. They're cops. And I'm just like, this is pro cop, and I don't fuck with that shit, man. Like if my kid watched it, I'd been like, cool, man, you like it, cool. But remember, these ain't your heroes. It's like a 15-year-old, maybe 12, 15-year-old kid leading a bunch of talking dogs on saving people in the city and in their little small town. I mean, it ain't. It is what it is. But yeah, it's pro cop.
I want to see Paw Patrol directed by Oliver Stone. I want to see that.
The conspiracy theory. One of these dogs is hooked on coke.
I mean, yeah, why not?
Yo, let me make Paw Patrol.
It's a gritty remake of Paw Patrol.
All right, moving on. I bought the 4K Blu-ray for Labyrinth. It comes in this beautiful fucking book. Like it has a little slip cover, and then you pull it out. It's a book. It's like the actual Labyrinth book that the discs come in. If you guys got the money for that, pick it up. It's beautiful. I like this movie. It's my first time watching it. Just
really,
every time over my past few decades, I've tried watching this in my life. Something always came up. Like I had to go somewhere, or somebody interrupted me, or like some shit happened, and finally got to sit through this movie. And the one thing I could tell you I love, they don't explain nothing. It just shit just happens just because. And I'm like, yo, this is before we had to start explaining everything.
Right. It's just pure storytelling.
Yeah, this is just, it's shit happening, and I love it. And I love that it's unapologetic for how fucking weird it is.
Yeah.
It's just fucking weird.
I mean, Labyrinth was one of the staples of every sleepover I went to. It was either Labyrinth, Willow, or Short Circuit. Those are the only three movies that any parent put on for their fucking kids to shut them up when in the living room in the sleeping bags.
So if you have
RoboCop,
if you have a 4K Blu-ray player or 4K setup, Cop Labyrinth, the picture is great, the sound's great. It's in Dolby Atmos, Dolby Vision.
Weren't they working on a sequel or a show or something like that?
I'm not sure. I think that might have just been
like Vapor.
No, I think that might have been Dark Crystal. I know Dark Crystal. That was all. I haven't heard anything about Labyrinth.
There's always talk about a sequel, about some of this shit, everything like that. But yeah, all right, I'll check it out. I mean, I haven't watched Labyrinth in years. I just know it was peak Bowie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So moving on. I was in the mood for something action-packed but dumb. And I watched G-Force on Disney Plus.
What the fuck is a G-Force?
G-Force is a branch of the FBI that uses guinea pigs to get intel and save the world. And I was just like watching the first 5 minutes. I was like, yo, shut the fuck up, nigga. Goddamn. Watching the first 5 minutes of this, I was just like, this is fun. You guys gotta lean into this. And you know what they don't do? They don't lean into it. It's fucking generic as shit. It become like, I was like, y'all could have made this weird, like a nice little weird family film like Labyrinth, and instead y'all made this like a generic family film.
I mean, It's Disney. They can't get too weird.
Yeah, this shit could have been a classic if they went weird.
So is this a TV show or is this a movie?
This is a movie. It has Will Arnett, Zach Galifianakis. What's my man's name? Bill Nye. He's in this. I was like, damn, Bill Nye. He didn't have to do this shit. Nicolas Cage voices a mole. Who else is in this? Penelope Cruz voices one of the guinea pigs. Tracy Morgan voices one of the guinea pigs. John Favreau voices one of the guinea pigs, and then what's my man's name? Sam Rockwell voices the main guinea pig.
Now, is this all animated, or are there actual people in this? Like,
it's live action.
It's live action.
It's live action with animated guinea pigs.
Wow,
they should have just went weird, man. They should have went weird, honestly. Like the setup and concept for this shit is just fucking bonkers and weird. And I'm just like, yo, the only way that this would have been good, y'all just needed to lean into it. Just fully lean into it, and they didn't. It was just generic. I was just like, after the first 5 minutes, I'm like, well, who gives a fuck?
Let's just get it over with. Can I get a live action fucking Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers?
Oh, that's on the way. It's gonna be a Disney Plus exclusive. You know who's writing that, right?
Who's writing that?
I think it's Seth. No, it's
really.
It's somebody. It's like a comedy duo.
Is it
no,
Adam,
I'm
is
sorry.
Gold?
I'm sorry. It's the Lonely Island's writing it.
Wait. So the Lonely Island is writing a Chip and Dale Rescue Ranger movie.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. I like, part of me is really excited, and part of me is just very sad and filled with dread.
Why not?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to feel. I'm very conflicted with this news.
Listen, I give everything its day in court. I won't say anything until I see something from it.
All right.
I ain't gonna jump on it till I see something.
Well, yeah. I mean, I made that decision with Free Guy, and look at it.
So, and then the last thing I rewatched Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's been a minute since I seen that shit.
The Coppola.
Yeah, shout out to Francis Ford Coppola. This movie,
the production design is beautiful.
Yeah, it's shot well. Everybody's putting their foot in it. It is the closest thing you'll get to an actual adaptation of the book. Like, this is the most faithful adaptation. Like, they changed a few things,
right,
but like, this is basically the book. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so like, honestly, after now that we got Bela Lugosi, because that's iconic, we got this. And no more Dracula, because the only other Dracula I want to see is Chloe Zhao. She's going to get ready to do a cowboy version of Dracula. That shit sounds weird as fuck. And I like Chloe Zhao, so I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt.
Wait, we were talking about that. I was talking about that a couple of weeks ago. Like Sundown, the town that Night for God or whatever that bullshit movie was. Yeah. That was pretty much, cowboys and Draculas. So, like, if she's doing a soft reboot of that, I'm there for it.
That's all we know is, like, there's 2 Dracula movies in development at Universal. One's like a regular old, and then Chloe Zhao's doing a Western cowboy Dracula.
Did I ever pitch you my idea for Universal Monsters Dark Universe?
No.
I was gonna reboot all, like, the Mummy, the Wolfman, Dracula, Frankenstein, right?
Right.
It was all gonna lead up to the fucking Monster Squad reboot.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So like, just like Stranger Things, you revolve it around kids, and then it all leads to a reboot of the Monster Squad. You're welcome, Hollywood. Pay me my money.
Yeah, you should have kept that shit off air, nigga.
Well, I won't. There you go. I'm never gonna get in a room with anybody.
Never say never. All right, Jeff. Let's move on to trailer talk.
Roll camera and action.
It's time for some trailer talk.
All right, so before we get into your thoughts on the Eternals trailer, and I'll explain why it's just going to be you.
Okay.
Last night, somebody leaked the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. I didn't get to see it. I don't know, Jeff, did you get to see it?
I didn't want to see it, and I told you the analogy why I don't want to see it.
I saw screenshots from it, and I can say I understand why we haven't heard anything about this movie. I understand why there's been very little information, because they are going to shock the shit out you with this movie. Like, I was just like, I was looking forward to it, but it wasn't hype for me. But after seeing some of these screenshots, I'm like, oh shit, this might be the best one, which is saying something, because Far From Home is amazing. That's one of my favorite Spider-Man movies. they're doing something they've wanted to do for a long, long time, and the way they're doing it is very creative and very smart. And I'm just like, holy shit, they're gonna pull this fucking thing off.
Right. Well, and like we had this conversation, Sony has to put its foot in this movie's ass in order to justify it not going to Marvel. You know, like to prove that Sony is Spider-Man. But let's talk about how fucking Sony keeps on getting these goddamn leaks.
I was just about to say two things before we move on. Somebody's gonna get fired. Like this is. It seems like this is from either a VFX house,
right,
or the trailer editor. But somebody's getting fucking fired for this.
It's always from one of those post houses that this shit happens.
Yeah, so somebody's getting fucking fired because I was just like, bro, that it was clear. It was blurry, but it was clear.
Right.
And I was just like, yo, somebody's getting fucked.
That was on someone's monitor, and they pointed the camera
Sony,
at it.
Like, as soon as it went up, I started hunting for it, and Sony was quick about it. I was just like, yo, because Sony's present CinemaCon is this week, and CinemaCon is like for movie theater distributors and exhibitors and journalists, film journalists. They go to Vegas and they're presented all this shit from the studios. And Sony's presentation is today. And I guarantee you that trailer was for their presentation today. That wasn't meant to be seen by the public. And that shit, I'm just like, somebody is going to be fucked. Like, I don't know who, but it might be a whole ass company that might be fucked, but somebody.
Right, someone's getting murdered.
Yeah.
It's not like that Ryan Reynolds shit with Deadpool, where they were trying to get traction to make this movie. This movie is made.
Yeah.
You know, Sony's gonna have to send some fucking bounty hunters out there for somebody, you know.
And the last thing I would say is Sony kind of fucked themselves on this, and Marvel, because Marvel has a habit of doing this shit too. Stop putting out the merchandise before the movie comes out, because my brother told me today, because I've seen 2 months ago, I've seen leaks of the toys, and I saw some of the suits Spider-Man's gonna wear in this movie, and I'm just like, oh shit, that's fucking nuts. I heard one of the toys for Doctor Strange, because Doctor Strange is going to be the mentor in this movie.
Right.
Doctor Strange is going to get something in this movie. My brother told me, because one of the toys leaked, that Doctor Strange is going to get, and I'm just like, get the fuck out of here. He's like, no, he's going to wear this. And I was just like, are you serious? He's like, yes. And I was just like, wow, holy shit. Guys, stop putting the toys out before the movie.
Wait, all right. So this is going to be a spoiler alert right here. So close your ears. I want to know what the fuck this is.
Are you sure?
I'm going to find out anyway.
Okay. Doctor Strange is getting Iron Man armor.
I fucking knew it.
Peter, I don't know if you've seen the toys. I've seen the toys. Peter is wearing a black suit, and on his chest, instead of he has the spider on his chest, but over the spider, the sorcerers.
Right.
They have the sorcerer shit over the spider.
Right. Okay.
And then he has the sorcerer shit all over his arms, like Doctor Strange in the black suit. And I'm just like, what the fuck? I saw that shit. Then the suit's black and gold. I was like, damn, Peter a pimp now.
Yo, I cannot, the multiverse. I cannot wait for the multiverse.
Yeah, man, they're going all in on the multiverse. And you know what? Guys, this is how I found out that Killmonger was going to get the Black Panther suit, is because of the toys. Stop putting out the toys months before the fucking movie comes out.
I mean, that's been for years,
and
man.
They got to do, well, Star Wars was smart about this. They put out the initial toys that have no spoilers. And then once it gets closer to release date, they'll give you a few things, like here's some few. And then after the movie comes out, you get all the shit that blew your mind in the movie. All that shit you get then. Like, y'all motherfuckers are fucking up your own shit. Like, I don't know why you guys keep this under lock and key at this point. Like, y'all own leakers.
Right. I mean, the world is going to see the Spider-Man trailer before the end of the week.
You think so?
I think, like, it's already leaked. It's already leaked. The damage is done. Like, this, it's on torrent sites. It's on fucking.
Do you want to know why I'm saying this is going to be special? Do you mind if I say it?
I mean, fuck it. Yeah.
Multiversal Sinister Six. So Electro, and they're redoing Electro. It's Jamie Foxx, but totally different Electro.
Right.
They're bringing Alfred Molina back as Doc Ock.
Right, I knew that.
William Dafoe's back as Green Goblin.
Okay, I heard rumblings. Like, you're not telling me anything that I hadn't speculated before.
Ian Reifus is back as the Lizard.
Okay, are they bringing back the Sandman?
Yes.
Okay.
And I forget who the last guy is.
Rhino.
I think it's somebody else. I can't remember. But yeah, it's all the previous
all the previous 6, all the Sinister 6. Yeah, I mean, that would kind of like tracks with what we've been hearing. So I'm not all that surprised.
I was. When I saw those pictures, I was like, holy shit, you guys pulled it off. You guys been trying to do this for years in the worst way possible, and y'all found a smart way to do it and pull it off. I was not expecting that. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
This is.
So we'll see. Like, Sony, the tickets are already sold, man. So like,
yeah, people are it trends almost every day now on Twitter. Spider-Man Far From Home, just because people want this fucking trailer that bad.
Yeah, before the end of the week, I bet you it's gonna drop.
All right, well, let's get into your thoughts. Since we're in Marvel, let's stick on Marvel.
Right.
The Eternals trailer. The reason why you're getting Jeff's thoughts and not mine is because I'm sold on the movie because it's Chloe Zhao. I know Chloe Zhao is going to give us something special, and I don't want to see anything else. Like, I want my mind to just blow out the back of my head when I see this fucking movie.
Right. I wasn't sold on the movie. I knew it was going to be special for a Marvel movie, but I wasn't super, super excited about it from that first teaser. And after watching this new trailer with a little bit more, instead of just beauty shots, we got some of the story, and now I'm really sold on it. You know, like like I'm a very simple creature. I just need story. You know, give me a little bit of story in my trailer, just so I know what the stakes are. What am I getting into? And then you got me, and this got me.
So let me ask you this. I knew Denis was going to deliver something special with Dune, and I knew Chloe Zhao was going to deliver something special with Eternals.
Right.
Now, when I tell you, when a high-profile directors like those sign on to something like this, will you doubt them again? Because now
I wasn't doubting. I wasn't excited.
All right, but now you're excited after seeing both full trailers.
I was excited for Dune no matter what. You know, I was not excited. Like, I knew Chloe was going to give us something special, but I wasn't excited about it. It's like it's like you can recognize that something is beautiful, but it's not beautiful to you. You know, like I recognize the aesthetics of it, and that how other people could see that it was special. Right. But it wasn't special to me until I saw this trailer.
Okay.
So the trailer made it special to me. So I see what you see now. But I was never doubting Dune, man.
You said you weren't feeling the first trailer, though.
Oh, I wasn't feeling the trailer, but I was feeling the movie.
Okay.
I wasn't feeling the teaser for Eternals. Now I'm feeling like after the second one, all right, I'm in. I get it.
Let me ask you, how's the action look?
Action looks it looks more superhero-y than we've gotten, honestly, out of the Marvel shit. Like with I don't know anything about the Eternals. Fucking Rob Stark flying around shooting laser beams and shit like that. It looks more superhero, more fantastical than like we've gotten from the anything in the first 3 phases.
See, and this is what I like about the current phase of Phase 4 that we're in. Before we get into the multiverse, we're getting Shang-Chi, a nice martial arts superhero epic that's disconnected. We're getting Eternals that's going to build out. It looks like it's going to build out the world further before we dive back into the multiverse. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm loving What If. I'm loving Loki. You know what I mean?
Right.
WandaVision was a nice tee up for the multiverse. And now we got Spider-Man, we got Doctor Strange, we got fucking Ant-Man. But it is nice for once that all that takes a back seat and we could get like 2 hours where we could just sit down and just be like, damn, this was just a good, solid movie.
Yeah, I mean, and like, I don't know how it's going to play into things, like, so you say it might be a 2-hour movie that's disconnected. It may have a through line that connects directly to what's going to happen. I don't know. Or, or it could just be like, all right, so what if Phase 4 branches? What if half of it is multiverse type, internal things, and the other branch is universal shit?
So you think so? That's the 2 branches we have now is cosmic space shit,
right?
And then fucking
the interdimensional shit.
The fucking multiverse shit,
right?
All right, I'm not gonna say no to either one,
because if you go like the universe, like the fucking space shit, like
that's Captain Marvel.
That's Captain Marvel.
Guardians, Thor.
That's fucking Secret Wars, maybe.
Yeah. I think we're teeing up for that. You could even pull Fantastic Four into that because Galactus. Like, really, I want to see. That's what I'm waiting for is Galactus.
Right.
I think he's the next Thanos.
Right. So all that shit could be playing out in the fucking galaxy while, here on Earth, we're trying to contain the multiverse. So it's an interesting time for Marvel.
The heroes getting fucked on all sides.
Yeah,
All right, and let's keep it nerdy. Let's roll right into Star Wars visions. This full trailer, it's cool to me. Every episode is going to have a different animation style because this is now like a anthology of anime. Like half-hour anime in Star Wars. And like some of this, I was like, that's fucking cool. Why haven't we done this in live action?
Right. You know what? Here's the thing. I talked about it last episode. I'm just Star Wars'd out, man. Like I said before, I can recognize that something's beautiful and I like how other people will be excited about it. But unless I'm watching it, I'm not feeling it, Like,
I get where you're coming from. It's just because they shoved that shit in our throats because everybody's trying to follow the Marvel model, but the thing is, Marvel may have the same recipe, but it's different characters. Like, you ain't doing the same shit with every movie. Like, you get a heist movie with Ant-Man, you get a space opera with Guardians. Like, sure, structure's the same, but like totally different.
Right. So like, on paper, I should be excited for this, but I'm not because I'm just kind of like. Fucking the Star Wars well is dry for me, man. Like
I get it.
The Mandalorian kind of reinvigorated my love for Star Wars,
right?
And then they put Skywalker in there.
All right, well, fair enough.
And then after that, I was like, all right, okay,
fair enough. Well, we'll see in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. So like nostalgia can be deadly, and that kind of comes into what we're going to talk about in one of our movie reviews later on.
Okay, so we'll move on to American Crime Story Impeachment.
I am excited about that.
I think this looks good, man. Like, I was surprised. Clive Owen.
He's unfucking recognizable as Clinton.
Yeah. Beanie is putting her foot into Monica Lewinsky.
Right. I see it now. Because in the first teaser, it was just the back of her.
Yeah,
So you didn't but now I see it. I see it.
Yeah, Tipper Gore. I want to punch Tipper Gore in the fucking face. I hate snitches, man. Honestly, I ain't none for fucking business in the first place.
Well, it wasn't Tipper Gore. It was Lisa Starr.
Oh, yeah.
Linda Tripp.
Yeah. Either way, I want to punch. I want to punch him. Stop snitching. Mind your fucking business.
Fucking rough McGruff, man.
Everybody got to stir up shit that has nothing to do with them just because they like drama and like watching shit implode.
And also, they were going to give her a book deal.
I remember after watching the trailer, I read up on her. And the funny thing, this bitch, I can't believe this bitch said this. She said, they blackballed me out of the FBI after this. I couldn't believe that they fired me. I'm like, well, yeah.
You're a fucking snitch.
You snitched on the president. Like, you gained the trust of this woman.
At a certain point, you're not even a snitch. You're a whistleblower.
And the thing is, you gained the trust of this woman who thought she was your friend.
This young, impressionable woman who's in this like weird, fucked up relationship.
Right, because
with the most powerful man on the planet.
Clinton, let's be real. Clinton was taking advantage of her, but so were you.
Right.
You were definitely taking advantage of both of them at that point.
Right.
You ain't no better. So before we move on from trailer talk, I want to talk about real quick. They put out the photos today of Cowboy Bebop's coming in November on Netflix. This is the live action show. They look exactly like the characters.
Right. I was like, when they first announced John Cho for the
I was aboard.
Like, I love him as an actor.
Right.
But like, I wasn't seeing him as Spike. But then these pictures dropped today. It's like, oh shit, that nigga's Spike.
Yo, and they cast a black man to play I forget what homeboy's name is, but he looks exactly like the character on the show.
Right.
And then this Asian girl that they got to play Faye looks exactly like Faye. And they got the exact corgi. I was just like, dude. And then John Cho, one of the pictures, he got fucking ripped. Every time I see somebody else coming out ripped, I'm like, God damn, I gotta hurry the fuck up.
Yeah, well, he put down the White Castle.
Yeah, yo, listen, I need to get rich, man. That's the thing. Being rich, you got all the time in the world to get ripped.
Well, yeah, because you're getting paid to get ripped.
Yeah, so like, God damn, I gotta get rich, man, so I could get ripped. But shout out Netflix. I'm talking to you directly now. Netflix, do not fuck this up. Cowboy Bebop is one of my all-time favorite anime. I don't fuck with anime like that. I own Cowboy Bebop. If you fuck this up, I'm going to be like Michael Shannon from Man of Steel. I will find you. Like DMX said, you think it's a joke till they no longer remember your name.
That is a direct, I'm not going to call it threat. I'm going to call it a helpful warning to Netflix. If you're going to get in the nerd game, you better be ready to step it up.
That's right.
Don't get in the nerd ring unless you fight nerd.
Also, real quick, Andrew Dominic, because we talked about before, I forgot to say this earlier. Andrew Dominic has a movie coming out with Netflix called Blonde. This movie's been he's trying to get this movie made for almost 20 years now.
Right.
It's supposed to be on the award circuit and come out during this award season.
I thought they pushed it back.
Rumors, I'm not going to say this is true. This is rumored. So just conjecture, people. It's too sexually explicit. And I'm like, at this point, man, who cares? Let us respectfully watch it. Well, we watch it respectfully. Who cares? I don't get what America's hang up is with sex, but then we could watch motherfuckers get their intestines pulled out, their eyeballs pulled out, their fingernails pulled out. Like, bro.
Because Americans are afraid of titties.
That's sad.
And dongs.
That's so sad, man. Everybody sees at least their own titty or their own dick every day because you got to wash yourself or put on clothes. So I don't see what the problem is.
Right. We've already established that washing yourself maybe not an everyday thing for some people.
Yeah, because all these celebrities come out and said they don't fucking.
We had this conversation.
So gross. Yeah. It's just, so yeah. Put out Blonde. We want to watch respectfully.
Right. And like, what is sexually explicit? Like,
I'm pretty. They're not going to show penetration.
Right.
Come on, man. You're making a movie, not a porn.
Right, but like even Lars von Trier did that shit, you know, and like in Antichrist and whatnot.
And Gaspar Noé, he showed penetration in Love.
Right, so like let's calm down with that. Like stop being so prudish. But then again, we're a country based on people, the Puritans, who were too stuck up for England.
Brits, yeah. My brother said that today because we were talking about the OnlyFans shit.
Oh God, R.I.P. OnlyFans.
We love sex and taking advantage of people with sex, but then hate. You know,
like when some people like try to express that sexuality and take ownership or power of it.
Yeah. It's fucking sad. All right, let's move into our main review.
And now, the moment you've been waiting for. The Film Blurs feature film review.
All right, Reminisce. I wanted to see this in a theater just because it's very rare we get noir today. And this is a noir. This is a sci-fi noir. And look, am I mad that I saw this in theaters? I ain't paid to see it. I saw it in IMAX. I'm not mad, but at the same time, this is one you watch on streaming. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it.
Like, here's the thing. I want to slow clap for Lisa Joy because she really did. It is a noir through and through,
right?
And it's.
She builds up the world.
Right.
Hugh Jack, the thing that makes it a noir, besides the voiceover and the way he dresses and
the fact
all
that, like, the detective aspect of it. Yeah.
A lot of noirs, the protagonist gets the shit beat out of him. And my man, Hugh Jackman takes licks in this movie. Like, he gets the shit beat out of him. Plus, we're trying to figure out if what's her face, Rebecca Ferguson,
right,
if she's a femme fatale or is she really on the up and up?
Right.
So that's the whole question, the whole movie.
And like it, just like most noirs, everything's laid out for you in the first 10 minutes.
Right.
Like even the ending is sort of laid out for you in the first 10 minutes if you're paying attention to it. I was surprised by how much I liked this.
Yeah.
It's nothing new, and that's not a disparaging comment towards it. Noir has a certain set of beats.
I mean, the only thing that prevents this from being special for me personally is we could have made this a nice solid hour and a half and make the dialogue a bit stronger.
It ran fast for me.
Really?
Honestly, It didn't seem like it was the 2 hours.
It got a little repetitive at points.
You know, like we all figured it out halfway through. It's just the trying to see what the resolution is.
Right.
Hugh Jackman needs to be in more shit, man.
Yeah.
Like
he's an actor.
Right. He killed it. You know,
Twandi. I don't know how to say her name. I know she used to go by Tandy, but now she changed it back to her
original name,
her Aboriginal name.
Right.
And I don't. It's with the W now, so I think it's Twandi.
Okay.
I'm not sure, and I'm sorry, Miss Newton, if I'm butchering your name.
Right, but she's always fucking murdering scenes, man. Like in everything she's in.
Yeah.
Fucking Cliff Curtis. Like I'm always there for fucking Cliff Curtis.
He was a scumbag in this.
You know, like that dude should be a higher billed star than he is right now. I love me some fucking Cliff Curtis.
It was missing the punch, though. It was lacking the punch that made like Dark City what it was, or Inception what it was. It was missing that extra punch to push it over.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's competent,
right?
And honestly, that is high praise for this type of movie, because a lot of movies try to ape an aesthetic. You know, they try to ape noir, right? Instead of just being a noir, this is just a noir. This is like a detective story through and through, and sometimes that's all you fucking want. I didn't need it to change the game for me.
I think this movie's getting unfairly shitted on, and I think give it some time, it's going to be reevaluated. Do I think it'll be looked upon as some classic in the future? No, but people are going to reevaluate it, say like, hey, this is a really good neo-noir that you should check out. It's not going to rock your world, but this is something.
It's going to be talked about,
right,
in comparison to other movies,
right?
But it's not going to be like, oh yeah, and fucking reminisce,
yeah,
right? But
it'll be reevaluated, and I think it'll have like.
And I actually want to watch it a second time to see if there are any like red herrings that I missed.
It's HBO Max, baby.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch the shit out of it. It's beautifully shot. Yeah. I'm loving like the sun-drenched fucking Miami look of it.
Yeah.
It's edited really well. It's competent, and it's not insulting, and it's accessible, you know, and entertaining.
They didn't lose too much money on this. This was $65 million. Again,
it's not bad.
I don't understand how this movie was cheaper than fucking Snake Eyes.
Because
it's amazing to me. It's amazing to me.
Well, you know, fucking CGI ninjas and shit. You know, the CGI ninjas cost money.
Well, reminisce. I like it. Give it a watch on HBO Max. I say don't rush to see this in theaters. And if you can't see it while it's on HBO Max, then
it'll be back on HBO Max in 2 months.
Or you could rent it. Right? Right. Like if you got an extra $5, just rent it.
Right.
It's good.
It's. I was not disappointed by it, because it had the opportunity to be a real piece of shit. Right. You know, like it looked from the trailer, it looked sort of like it was leaning too hard towards Inception territory.
Well, I thought it looked a lot like Blade Runner, but it has more in common with Dark City.
Yeah.
And Dark City is a great noir. That was a great Alex Proyas movie. That's underrated too. That's one that's been reevaluated.
Right. I didn't like Dark City when I first watched it, but I watched it a couple of years ago. I was like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, so
I get it.
Yeah, this is how I feel like that's how this movie's gonna be reevaluated. It's like nothing that's gonna rock your world, but something people are gonna be like, great example of a noir.
Right.
This.
Yeah, it's yeah, I got nothing bad to say about it. It is what it is. It's competent. I enjoyed it. Like I was in it from beginning to end. It wasn't like I was checking my phone or anything like that.
Right,
you know,
right.
It built tension pretty masterfully. And even though I knew, like, I know enough about story, and I know enough about this to like see what exactly was going to happen next.
Right.
I know what's going to happen. It's not about knowing what's going to happen. It's about seeing how it's executed.
Right. It was you could tell this was somebody's first movie, and I don't mean that as a slight, but you could tell Lisa's going to be somebody. She just got to refine herself a little bit.
Right.
So, moving on to our next and final review, The Night House. I'll say what I liked about this. I like that this is a ghost story and we never see the entity.
Right.
That's what makes it. This is what makes it one of the better horror movies I've seen recently. Just because it builds the tension and dread through empty spaces and the unseen
and the silence, like the sound design.
Yes,
is amazing because in these sort of haunting movies, whatever like that, you get the jump scares, whatever like that. But the jump scares in this movie are from regular ass shit.
The one jump scare that got me is where she goes. I don't want to spoil it because I want you guys to get jump scared too. It's the girl.
Yeah.
That got you?
Yeah.
Because it got me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, yeah.
Yeah.
This uses music theory very well. There's a song in the movie that's recurring throughout the movie called Calvary Cross, and it starts off. This is like a nice little country rock song. It's very romantic the way it's being shown, and then they take these 3 chords and use it over and over, and it gets more and more unnerving and sinister as it goes on. And I'm like, this is great use of music theory. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I wish more films would use music theory to build tension like that.
Well, people don't. Well, I don't want to say people.
It's part of the craft,
right? Filmmakers don't really appreciate or utilize sound design and music and like scoring as effectively as they should, as they can, especially in these horror movies. Like I'm saying, man, like her grabbing her keys built tension for me. And it's like it's just as much the score or as it is the absence of a score in some of these scenes,
I really liked Rebecca Hall. Like she's one of our most underrated actresses.
She does sad white woman really well.
And,
like,
but you get the emotions in every scene about why she's like, you know what I mean?
Right. Like it's the scene when the student's parent comes in.
Yeah.
And that had me like both cringing and also like, yeah, bitch, what? It's like Hunter got to see he's gonna be all right.
Yeah, and you know what? I deal with parents like that, and it pisses me off because I'm like, yo, your kid didn't get an F, you got a passing grade.
Right. He shouldn't have waited till the last fucking day of school to turn in his extra credit assignment.
Right.
But that's what that is. I don't know if I had a problem with the end, as in like once you find out
what's going
on in less capable hands, that twist would have been laughable.
It gets dark because there's 2 twists, right? The first twist with the husband, when you find out what's going on with the husband, I was like, wow, that's fucking dark.
Right.
And I was just like, man, that just shows how much he was willing to do for his wife.
Right.
So that leads directly into the second twist. And that second twist, that is fucking crazy. It makes you think on mortality and like how easily like stuff, because they do this in other movies, how like stuff latches on to things, like onto an object or onto a place or onto a person.
Right.
And it's like, I was just like, damn, that's fucked up.
Right. But like in a less depth, in less competent hands and less like artistic hands, that I could see how that would be a laughable sort of twist.
Yeah. That was, but yeah, man, this is, all the shots in this were deliberate, and the way they frame stuff was deliberate. I think whoever I forget what the guy's name is, but whoever directed this, I'm going to keep my eyes on.
Well, all right. So I looked him up, and he's a horror cat. David Bruckner. He did Southbound.
Okay.
Which is a horror movie that came out in 2015. Which I don't know which segment. It's one of those anthologies. I don't know which segment he directed. All right, because some of the segments in Southbound were hit and miss. But like I would like to go back now and to see which one he directed. He also did VHS. He was one of the directors for VHS.
Okay. Well, I gotta see what segment, because VHS, most of that I was like,
right. I mean, so like most of his shit, honestly, it's been kind of short form.
Okay.
But he is doing the the new Hellraiser.
Oh, okay. See, I'm not a fan of Hellraiser like that.
Right,
Like
right.
It is what it is for me.
I don't fuck with the devil like that, man.
I think
So.
I'll watch it because of this dude, but like if I don't like it, guys, it's not because of anything to do with anybody or this film in particular. It's just I'm not a fan of the content. Like I'm not a fan. I'm not a Hellraiser person.
Yeah. So I mean, and he also did The Signal. Oh shit. So if you've never seen The Signal, it's a movie that came out in 2007. It's about the end of the world, but it's like the same story, like the same characters, but through different vignettes.
Okay.
During the signal comes in through over the rare airwaves and drives people crazy, yada 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 yada. You know, it's not the story. It's not the setup for it. It's how they execute it. That's, an interesting conceit.
Okay. All right. Well,
That's it. So
we're
Night
the
House.
Film Blurs. Do us a favor. Just before we go, we want to say we're leveling up the show, and we want to make the show the best we can.
We got big things coming up, baby.
Do us a favor. Follow us on all social media for the Film Blurs. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We got a TikTok. We're gonna put out some TikTok soon. At Film Blurs. And we just want to say we're gonna take a week off because we need a reset. So next week you're gonna get the Mythic Fabled episode 15, and because tomorrow is my birthday, we're gonna give you a very special episode that we've been working on.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you. We gotta do the black way. Happy birthday.
So you guys got some special things coming.
Happy birthday.
Special things coming from us. We want to give you the best shows possible, and we're working on giving you the best shows possible.
Right. Like we appreciate the Film Blurred Nation. I'm gonna coin that. Call yourselves that.
Blurdies.
Blurdies. Now that sounds like something you get when you go to Chipotle.
All right, if you say so.
But we'll work on that. But like, we appreciate our fans. We appreciate everyone who's writing us in, following us on the social media. Just give a shout out to our family here at the New Pod City.
Yeah.
Thank
you to everybody at New Pod City for believing in us. This has
been a wild ride, and we're going even higher. And a special shout out to our man Will Foskey, the new president of the NPC Podcast Network. He's leveling up. Thanks to Frank Sasso. We appreciate you guys.
All right, and that's been episode 18. We're the Film Blurs. I'm Brandon Norwood, and I'm the motherfucking protagonist.
I'm the protagonist.
I'm Jeff Stewart, a.k.a. He Who Remains.
Don't come at us. It's just fucking movies.
You've been listening to the Film Blurs Podcast.
Man, I just love what you guys do, man.
I never miss an episode. It's the best.
It's my favorite podcast.
Follow Jeff on IG on MindFire XL and Brandon on Twitter at BJN Tweets.